Hey everybody, this is Fi. We're checking out Airstralian. This is a game I've not played before. We're going to give it a playtest and see if we can give some useful feedback. I've got the game page open here. It says if you have the time, we'd like you to fill this survey after playing the game, which I probably won't do, I don't know. I'm gonna give you a video in lieu of that, I suppose. It goes on to say, step into the shoes of the Airstralian, a descendant from his homeland up above to the land down under in search for treasure and knowledge, mostly treasure, and use the power of the wind to safely traverse the Kangaroons. This demo showcases a good part of the first world and a bit of the second. You can look forward to the full game releasing soon. It mentions a Twitter at LuckBuildGames, has how to play, controls, settings. I don't know if I should read through all this or if there's like instructions in the game. I don't know if you want to know. It mentioned releasing soon, so maybe I should just kind of give an impression of like how well the game itself teaches me rather than reading through the instructions on the game page here, since that might be more useful. I'm not seeing anything past the screen here. I will note that the music's a little bit loud. I frequently notice with a lot of amateur games that I play that people tend to make the music and sound effects louder than they need to be, and I end up turning my volume down really low on Windows here. Right now it's at, what is this, 12%? I mean, I've played worse, but it's still a little bit loud, so let's go ahead and get into this. I don't know. Settings has a little exclamation mark on it. Let's check out what's in here. We got camera size, guidelines, arrow settings. Oh, we've got little tooltips, it looks like. Boomerang path prediction. Change what mouse dragging looks like. Full arrow, partial arrow, interesting. Alright, master volume, music volume, sound effects volume. Camera size, full screen resolution, lives enabled. Toggle the live system, note that to get trophies you must lose no lives. And what does that mean if I toggle this off? What does that mean? Does that mean that if I die that it's like I die once and it's game over? It's not entirely clear, but okay, so I don't know if there's more stuff planned for this, but I'd like to see things like for full screen, it'd be nice to have an option for exclusive full screen versus the borderless window mode, which I believe, yeah, we're in right now. And like a VSync option. I think these are, in my opinion, kind of standard things that should be included with basically every game. But we're going to play it as is. We got some buttons down here in the bottom right. I'm assuming this is Twitter. I don't know what this one is. Looks like it opens up. Okay, it opens up the itch page here. Right, so I guess we'll click on play. We got no save. Some cute little icons and stuff. Okay, there's a lot of stuff on the screen here. Looks like, I guess this is a level. Looks like we got a back arrow. It's not immediately obvious like what things on the screen I can actually like click on and interact with. It kind of looks like everything is sort of grabbing the same amount of attention as everything else, but I guess it looks like I can interact with this and this and this, and I assume that's it. Alright, it says Backwater Beginnings. I guess we'll click on go, and this is some kind of a map or something. This looks kind of weird. Alright, there is me. Hold left mouse button and drag to aim, release it to throw. Alright, so it looks like I don't rotate instantaneously. I mean, my little character. Oh, I can't. I'm already trying to hit the WASD to move around. Okay, we got an interesting curve, it looks like. Which I guess the little curve it shows is the same. Okay. So there's a timer, I guess, in the top right here. I guess it's waiting for me to do it again. So So I guess my guy just kind of stays at the entrance, then I just kind of control this thing. It's interesting how it rotates around a point while you're trying to do things with it. That seems to add a degree of complexity to things here. I don't know what. Oh, I didn't actually mean to do that. I'm wondering. All right, so if I hold left click, and then I press right click. I don't know what this is. Is it like slow motion or something? I mean, you can see it slows down, and then it looks like there's like a little meter of sorts. It looks like it refills gradually over time. Oh, you can see it. Okay, you can see it refill. It's just kind of subtle. I assume this is just like slow motion or something. But there doesn't appear to be a way to cancel unless there's like a keyboard input. It looks like escape will open up a pause menu here. So I've let off the left mouse button at this point. Looks like I can go into settings, reset level, resume, power time, gem power time, achieved. Oh, achieved power time, complete the level, collect all gems, obtained the trophy. Alright, so it looks like there's lots of different objectives and stuff. We got blue things in the top left. I don't know. I guess we'll find out what those are eventually. Alright, so it looks like I can, like, if I want to cancel this, apparently I can hit escape to kind of go into the pause menu. Cancel that, but it's kind of goofy to do that. I don't know, maybe the game will tell me there's some other button or something I can do here at some point to make that happen. So where do I end up? This ending point. Like, I don't know, how do I judge what that point is going to be? Alright, looks like it's a little bit... Whoa, wait a minute. Looks like it's a little bit further than the end of, like, the visible end of the line, I guess. And I guess if I get into some brushes, vegetation or something, it decides that that's invalid. Is that what happened? Or was it because it hit the wall, maybe? Oh, it can't touch the walls. So it was kind of funny. It was like kind of orbiting this. I guess it's a tree or something. I don't know what that is. It's like a little armadillo statue or something, or maybe that's a kangaroo. So can I just do this kind of infinitely? Like, I don't even have to wait for it to stop moving before I can do it again, which is interesting. Alright, I did not know that this was an interactable thing, but it looks like we kind of triggered that. Might be nice if that stood out a little bit more against everything else in here. Alright, I got a star for I don't know, because hovering doesn't tell me anything in this screen for some reason. Like, everything else has a tooltip, but... Okay, obviously I took way longer than... Alright, there's a lot of stuff on the screen here. It's kind of hard to wrap my head around, like, what is this here? Why is this here? Why is all of this up here and then these are here? Like, I don't really understand the organization of what's on the screen here. Why is this one dark? This one isn't. The star thing. Because this left here and it went up here. Is that what happened? I don't really know. Maybe that's what happened. Still, some of this is kind of confusing, but I would like to, like, I think you kind of saw my first inclination was to, like, hover the mouse over one of these to see what they were, because that's kind of what happened, I think, when I started the level. To presume is what this button does. I don't think there's a tooltip on that button, which is interesting because there's been so many tooltips so far. I wonder what's in this other hand here. Looks like I hit something here, and then I don't know what that... Wait, didn't I just go through this thing? Or do I have to land on top of it? That is not clear at all. Before it just kind of happened by accident, right? So what, Somehow I went all the way back here. I don't know why I ended up all the way back there. There's... So now I'm doing it. There's a little, some kind of a little circle thing. I guess this is the point that you spin around. Maybe I had to get the circle on the windmilly thing, and not the actual boomerang itself. It's not really clear to me why that didn't work the first couple times I tried it, but maybe it's because of that circle thing. Wasn't being aimed properly there. I don't know. All right, yeah. So I can see it kind of coming out of this. Yeah, interesting how you don't have tooltips on this. Reverse passage. Collect all gems to get extra stars. I don't know if I care about the stars at this point. I'm sure it's some... I'm sure there's going to be some... what would be the word? I don't know, but a reason to want to get more stars. That's gonna hit. No, it's not. Okay, so I don't know like what things. I guess if it's black, that means you can collide with it. Is that how that works? Otherwise, you just kind of fly over it. I hit that. Then it went back here. Okay, is there? I think the lives thing is maybe this little. I guess those were little boomerang icons that were kind of near the boomerang in white. I didn't realize that before, but I think that's what that was trying to tell me. Interesting to me that you can't like. As far as I know, unless it just hasn't been revealed to me at this point how to do it, you can't move the view around at all. But it looks like you can launch this, especially because this is, I have it in 16:9 format here. It might be different if you have, I assume the game will look different on different screen formats, which would be another thing to consider. But like if I go straight up or straight down, I believe I can go significantly further than I can actually see. A little bit further than you can actually see, so it, you know, it's not that hard to end up like running into something that you couldn't even see because it wasn't on the screen, that kind of thing. So I find myself wishing I could look around a little bit more. So I'm assuming, all right, I want to be able to cancel that after I do that, and it makes sense for me to right-click to do that, but it doesn't work that way. So like I said, I'm assuming that the black parts are things you can run into. This right here looks a little weird, though. Like, I'm not sure what these things are representing, for one thing, but also because there's like, it looks like a little cog or something is in here. It's kind of continuous with these. Alright, it did hit that, but it kind of... Oh, okay, so it has this effect where it kind of just goes through the thing. It doesn't, like, deflect or anything. Which I wonder, I mean, it might be a little extra work to make... well, I don't know, it should be kind of simple to make it just bounce off in some fashion, but I wonder if it would just make more sense to make the boomerang bounce off of solid objects and just kind of, like, land on the floor or something to communicate it a little in a more intuitive way to the player, you know. So yeah, it's a little weird to wrap your head around, like this idea that you're kind of managing the boomerang, but also this little point in the middle, I guess, simultaneously. Oh, there's a black thing here. Okay. Indeed. Okay. And as of yet, it doesn't seem like there's any reason not to use like as many moves as you can, that kind of thing. It is pretty annoying how the boomerang's always spinning around this point, so it's really easy to, like what happened here, to just kind of get in a spot and then like after a moment it just kind of just slightly bumps into the wall because it just kind of rotates around and bumps into something and then you have to go back. Kind of weird the way that works. I don't really... I don't really find myself liking that very much, where it seems like it makes it harder to be consistent in what you're doing. I wonder if you could do something. I mean, there's probably a zillion different options that you could pursue here, but I wonder if you could do something like have the boomerang kind of end up in the middle, but it doesn't start rotating like this until you go to throw it or something, and then it could kind of do this spinning effect, and maybe it would ignore solid walls while it's spinning unless you like try to throw it, and then it's like inside a wall or something, then it would collide. Something like that might give you kind of the same effect without having this situation where it just kind of awkwardly, like even here, that's really kind of weird. Like, it's a little hard to wrap your head around, like, that kind of thing. Like, how do you very consistently prevent that from happening? Maybe with more experience with the game that becomes more natural, but it does feel weird the way that ends up working out. Okay, I guess I don't know what I'm doing. I'm supposed to get the blue things, right? Or am I just supposed to go to an exit and the blue things are bonus? Kind of ignored this thing here. It is interesting kind of managing the way that this curve works. And so something over here is shining light through. Okay, that opened up as this is some kind of a checkpoint sort of deal. I don't know. Like, why do I want to go? Oh, because it opened this up too, right? Okay. Alright, yeah, I can see that. I wonder if somebody might not realize that this opened up. I mean, it's possible. I noticed it right away, but I was kind of trying to think about things like that, because this wasn't really on the screen when that happened. If you really want to be sure about that, you might do like something like a little cutscene where the camera just kind of shifts over here really quick and then shows that happening, that this opened too, that kind of thing. Well, I guess. Oh, that wasn't very good. No, my lives. No, it's too far. Alright, it's kind of weird going into these tight spaces because it's gonna hit something. Whoa! Oh crap. Okay, so I think the blue things actually went back. Is that what happened? Oh my gosh, everything resets. Wow. Interesting. That's strange. It doesn't really give me the sense that everything reset. Like, it's sort of like a game over and the level restarts, I guess, but it doesn't feel like it, which you could say is maybe kind of a good thing because it's less frustrating or something, but the effect is the same. Like, you actually do lose like all of your progress. So it's kind of weird the way that works out, and I just did this to restart. Oh my gosh. No, I thought I could speedrun it. Oh my gosh, that wasn't anywhere near. I gotta pay attention to where this thingy is instead of the center point. Oh, come on. Wait, this is awkward. Okay, so it gets weird when it comes down to just like finally controlling this little thing in the middle, because you don't actually control that, you control this thing. It's like, it's not that thing. And so if I want to move the middle point, it's not really obvious how to do that in some situations. Like obviously in a kind of low resolution sense, I can just kind of launch it in this direction, and then this will go in that direction. But when it comes to like fine movements, you don't really have direct control over that, so it gets really weird. Trying to wrap your head around that. I guess we're gonna go out here again. I will speed run. I don't care about the blue things much anymore. Oh no! Oh, it went all the way back. Oh my gosh, okay. Yeah, that's pretty frustrating, I mean... I think... Oh gosh. Wait, maybe that's actually... Maybe that's what this is about. So if I turn that off... Is it just going to go back to the start every single time, no matter what? Ah, okay. Alright, I was a little hopeful for a moment that this might actually make it so that you never have to go back to the start for running into something like that. I feel like that would be a reasonable option in this kind of game, where you're kind of already getting... So there's two things going on. First of all, I mean, you still have to actually do what you need to do to get through the level, even if you screw up a million times. There's still like a skill element in just getting to the end. It's not necessarily like extremely hard if you have like infinite tries, but I could imagine that there might be situations where it'd still be pretty hard. I mean, I'm just guessing. I don't know what is further up ahead in the game, but like if you give the player infinite tries, there's still going to be a certain degree of challenge in just getting to the end. And on top of that, you also kind of get punished with, you know, if you take a million tries, it's going to take a long time. You're not going to get any of these like time bonuses or anything. You're still kind of getting punished for, let's say, playing bad or whatever. So I don't know. It would feel kind of a little more casual, but it would be a lot less frustrating, and it seems like an option that would suit this game well, from what little I've played of it so far. Alright, you can kind of skip this. I don't know what this is. I have no idea what that is. I guess I'm just going to go to the next thing. Beating levels under power time will unlock an extra star. Alright, so I think there's another door here. It looks like there's little gears in there again. Oh, excuse me. So I think I need to go down, but again, I can't really see down here. I wish I could just look down a little bit. Alright. I'll go slower then. Alright. Again, I don't think I care about the blue things as much as just playing more of the game at this point. So I guess, where am I going? Over here. And down here. There's one of these things, okay. Again, this doesn't stand out quite as much as I wish it would. Didn't really even notice this was here before now. Looks like we're going out here. Okay, well that was not too bad. Seems simpler than the last one. Caved in corridor. Oh, right. launch the thing. That's gonna run into something. I didn't see what that said because I was too busy trying to make sure that this didn't run into something. Oh, yep, there we go. Oh my gosh, that was dangerously close. Oh, it does. Oh gosh, okay. So yeah, the funny rotation of the sprite can make it like go past something and then hit it on the next turnaround. That's kind of annoying, yeah. I think that's probably the most annoying part of the game so far, is just the fact that it can kind of spin around and then just kind of run into something kind of unexpectedly. That's a very small obstacle. You can kind of appreciate how there's these lighting effects that makes it a little more obvious, at least when you're this close. Ugh. Didn't take my time with that at all. Oh, hold. I guess that, yeah, right mouse button. I couldn't tell like which button it was trying to tell me. I mean, I already kind of figured it out that you can do this, but apparently you can use the space bar as well. Yeah, I think this is probably. Whoa, wait a minute. Oh, okay. It's probably not a game for somebody who is impatient, because if you try and play impatiently, then it's very easy to make dumb mistakes. Oh crap, I tried to make a like a small adjustment and it didn't end up being that small. Where am I going? Okay, this is closed. Okay. We got slow-mo. Oh, we want to go over here. Well, I just wanted to make a little adjustment. I don't know why that was not a little adjustment. So the slow motion's pretty useful, yeah. Especially if you're trying to do it like do something mid-flight to readjust, that kind of thing. Definitely seems very useful, and I should probably use it more. Alright, still don't know what that is. I don't care about whatever this is. I'm not trying to play for time or score here. Or points or jewels or doodads. I did not think that was going to hit, but it did. Oh my gosh, what the heck? Doesn't look like it's going to hit that based on the curve. It doesn't quite follow the curve, does it? That does not look like it's gonna, like... Well, I guess not knowing... Okay, so you don't know what the rest of the curve is, so I guess it could deviate a bit from what it looks like it's gonna continue. The direction it looks like it's gonna continue in, it could kind of curve back this way instead of like continuing on this way. Which might be what's going on here. I don't know. But either way, it might be worthwhile to try to kind of complete the curve here a bit. Since it's kind of like it's almost showing the whole path that it's going to take, but it just kind of like omits a little bit. So I don't know, maybe it's just worth giving the player that little extra information there. So I gotta wait for this, even if I don't want to. I guess we're going this way, 'cause that's where the door thing is. Oh, that thing is not open. This one's open. Okay, that would be important to realize. Okay. Presumably there's another switch dealy over here somewhere. Oh wait, there's a... Oh gosh. Alright, I should try to slow things down if I have to do that. With some of these smaller obstacles, sometimes I just like... there's a good chance it has something to do with the fact that I'm playtesting and I'm a little more distracted than I would be otherwise, but sometimes my brain is just not really registering these. They're kind of small and they just kind of like look like they're part of the scenery in some sense, but I don't know why I thought that was a good idea, but I managed to survive. Okay. Nope. So close to hitting that. Launch. Okay. Roundabout. Oh, that was lame. Alright. Whoa. I'm definitely having that same effect where it looks like it's going to go up a little higher, but instead it kind of goes down a little more than I thought it would. Blech. So one thing, I'm gonna fail this intentionally. Wait, can I? Oh, okay, so the R key does reset here. It occurs to me when you're starting out with your Australian guy, you're about to throw this, it doesn't really give you an indication of where the center point is going to land. Like, it just kind of emerges. Maybe it's kind of unavoidable, but I guess the first guy has like a really far throw or something. It seems like it's hard to make it go a short way. Maybe that was by design. In any case, I think this is a closed door. This is rustling against the vegetation here. Again, I wish I could look down a little further. There's actually like multiple paths at this point. How do you curve like this? I don't like it. No. Please don't. Okay. Alright, getting a little bit tight here. I don't know what I'm doing right now. Whoa, okay, I ran out of slow-mo all of a sudden. That was pure luck. Oh gosh. Alright, I'm finding it hard to make like small adjustments. It seems like it's maybe a little overzealous in going to like max length really quickly here. You don't have to move the mouse very far to get the maximum. So like when I'm trying to do these little panic movements and stuff, it's like throwing at the maximum range. I know I should be using the I can't. That was a really weird curve. That was like unusable. I don't know what. Sometimes is a little confusing the way that the boomerang decides it wants to throw that curve out there. I guess if you want to do a short throw, it does weird stuff. The way it kind of curves back in on itself and stuff. Which I guess makes some sort of sense for a boomerang. This is not your traditional... I mean, this isn't like a boomerang that's supposed to fly back to you exactly. It's like trying to fly forward. I don't know why I just completely forgot that this is This is closed. I think I have to over here. I was pretty sure that wasn't gonna hit. I don't know what happened there. Oh. Wait a minute. Full arrow, partial arrow. What? Why would you want this? I don't understand. I don't really understand what I'm looking at here. Oh, alright, so my brain just now made the connection that the straight line in the middle there that isn't all curvy is kind of indicating the path of the center point, I guess. I never really attached that line to the actual point at the center until now. I just thought it was like just some kind of a I don't know, like a rough indication of the direction you were giving, but I guess that's helpful. I didn't think about that. But yeah, I don't really understand why you would want the arrow thing to look like this. It doesn't quite make sense to me. It looks like you can cancel this by actually moving the mouse back to the center and letting off the mouse button. I didn't realize that. That would have been nice to know, I think, earlier. But that's okay. All right. Oh, this is close to... Alright. I like that you can skip this stuff. That's nice. Ah, decisions. What are we deciding upon? Yeah, so it is a little weird how... Wait, I think that's a little... Alright, so the little straight line coming out of the center point, it has like a little branch. I'm assuming that's a bug of some sort. I'm gonna rendering bug, I don't know if you're aware of that, but I think that's a bug. It looks pretty buggy to me. But yeah, so kind of what I noticed before about how the behavior of the boomerang is quite different if you try and throw it a short distance versus like maximum distance. At maximum it kind of is more direct in like a forward direction, whereas when you do it like a little bit, it actually does this kind of curly action where it can actually like kind of loop around and go backwards and this kind of stuff. It's kind of more unpredictable. That seems to kind of dissuade actually throwing it shorter distances, which is kind of weird because it seems like you get into more trouble like the more that you just like chuck it max distance all the time. So it seems like the right thing to do is to like kind of calm down and be a little you know, more chill about how far you're throwing it, but at the same time, like when you're trying to do that, like, you know, just making like little throws and little adjustments, it seems like this trajectory starts working against you quite a bit. And it's like, I don't really quite understand the thought process there behind why you would want it to behave like that. I mean, it's arguably interesting, I guess, that it's like a different thing you have to deal with, but on the other hand, it just seems like it's sort of almost made to mess you up or something. Or maybe it's... Oh, okay. I think I'm making more sense of it now. Alright. So, yeah, I think... Okay. Makes sense now. I don't think this is very obvious. I think it's kind of misleading. But, yeah, I haven't really been paying much attention to that line that I mentioned before that's coming out of the center point. So it does make sense. So if you throw it a little shorter and you pay attention to that line, then it makes sense because you're throwing the center point kind of a short distance. But the boomerang, just by the nature of how it just kind of rotates around this point, is why it makes these kind of weird curly cues. Pretty much this whole time, I've just been pretty much exclusively looking at the trajectory of the boomerang itself. So I think it's really easy to just kind of focus on that and not really, I guess, realize entirely the relationship with this thing and how all this works. So I guess I'm not really throwing the boomerang itself at all. I'm actually kind of throwing the center point. I think that's probably correct, and then the boomerang is just kind of always rotating around this pivot point. So I didn't really put all that together until now. It's definitely kind of what would be the word? I don't know. It's a lot more complex than you initially realized it is, I guess. Or certainly kind of confusing. But that makes sense. Crap. So, in addition to this line, I have to, I guess, account for the actual, like, the size of the sprite itself so that it doesn't bump the edges into stuff. You could consider things like, you know, maybe make the collider a little bit smaller. Like, personally, I probably wouldn't make the collider like a one-to-one representation of the boomerang itself. You can make it a little more forgiving for players, like so that if like the extreme edges of the, you know, the pixels on the extreme edges of the boomerang brush up against something that doesn't like count as, you know, hitting the wall and failing. You could do something slightly smaller than the sprite, and then give the player a little more leeway to work with, and that'll be a little more forgiving and kind of manage some of the frustration aspect. That's possible here. It's sort of weird, the position I'm in here, but I don't know, like, there's a better one here. Oh, that ended up hitting. I didn't think that was gonna hit. Don't touch that. Oh, that was dumb. Yeah, I guess we'll just try again instead of talking. Yeah, it is kind of a lot to wrap your head around, like trying to manipulate this and this simultaneously. While it's constantly changing, like I feel like this would be easier for me to make more consistently intelligent choices about if this wasn't constantly rotating around this and creating like a continuously variable situation here. But I have made it this far. Let's just keep going with it. And obviously the slow motion is going to help a bit. Oh, that just kind of made it there. I think that's the exit thing, right? Okay. Yeah, so I talked for so long I didn't really get much of a sense of the flow of this level. I apologize for that, but... Okay, looks like we got up and down. Interesting. What? Wait a minute. Okay, I guess this is supposed to be like an entrance or something. It's like... It just looks like you can go there, but you just can't for no apparent reason. No. Can you... Alright, these are casting shadows, but they're not dark, so I guess... They're not black, so I guess I can float over these. This is all caved in, I guess. Oh, it does look like I can get... up here, at least. I don't know if I can go any further. No. Alright, let's... No, okay. I don't know. Oh my gosh, I do find myself just kind of wishing that this would stop spinning so that I could kind of make a more confident decision here. I guess we just go in some direction. Welp. Oh, okay, I started too low. I didn't have enough room for my mouse. Oh, that's closed. I don't like this. Okay, I gotta try and train myself to like use the slow motion. No, for goodness sake. And yeah, this always feels like I'm trying to make it shorter, but it's like it maxes out so early. It just feels quite awkward to me to like how far back you have to bring the mouse to get it to actually start shortening the path here. All right, try to use both lines. Oh, no. Again, I wanna make it shorter, but I feel like this thing should be like twice as long as it is, like this draggy part, until it hits the maximum. Or something close to that. And you can always make that some kind of an option. You do in the settings menu, you know. Where am I going at this point? Is there anything? Wait, oh, I can go over here. Oh, nope. Alright, so that's gonna start the whole level over. So yeah, I could see this getting really frustrating, especially when you, I mean, presumably it's just, the game's only gonna get harder. And I can't imagine having much fun with every time you nudge into something, you know, 3 times or whatever, that you have to like restart the whole level again. Once the game starts getting more challenging, I think that would get pretty frustrating pretty fast for the player. So I don't know, maybe that would kind of kill the fun of the game here. Gosh, this is kind of silly. Alright. Trying to make use of what I learned. Use the other line more. Indeed, it does help. Alright, so I think we're going to the right here. This is what we want, right? Where am I going? Yeah, so I find myself wishing that the parts that you actually run into just stood out a little bit better than they do here. I kind of mentioned before, like the small ones where I found it easy to kind of ignore them and that kind of thing, like randomly run into them. But yeah, it does feel like there's just a lot of stuff on the screen that's all kind of demanding some degree of attention, and I wish it was just a little bit clearer what the really important things that, like, things that are gonna make you lose are. Alright, it's all the way over here. Please don't run into this stuff. Okay. That was, yeah. Oh crap, the lives. No, I was way too hasty. Oh, whoa, what? Huh? Wait, no, that's gonna hit. Oh, why? Why would you do that? Why would you do that to me? Oh my gosh. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I'm assuming that those were bad guys that were gonna, like, attack me or something. Oh my gosh. I don't know, that seems like a really bad idea with this game, because you have to, like, be so careful with every throw. And you have to, like, sit there and wait for it to rotate around for a while until you get, like, the perfect thing. I thought that was gonna go around, the little line was around that. So again, you know, maybe make the collider a little bit more forgiving, it'd be nice. But yeah, that seems like a very dangerous idea. I mean, they didn't seem that aggressive or anything, but putting that kind of time pressure along with kind of the variability of the position of the enemies and stuff, definitely seems a little questionable with this kind of gameplay. I don't know why I'm doing this without thinking. I'm just gonna restart here. Can't really see, but that's okay. Alright, so I want you to end up like this. Okay. Alright, we gotta go all the way over here again. It gets tiring after, like, you know, you've already done it a couple times, then you have to, like, start all over again, and it takes quite a few throws, and like I said, it takes a lot of patience, you know, to line up every one of these little throws one after the other, and it's kind of like a very slow pace of progress. So when you kind of combine that with the fact that you're asking the player to to lose all their progress and start the whole thing over again when they mess up too many times, like 3 times, it makes it pretty brutal, you know. Oh, there's a black thing right there. Can I launch? I'm gonna do a more modest throw here. I want to end up like this. Alright, so these things, they're probably less dangerous than they look, but still a little bit stressful. Do they have collision on them? I don't know. They certainly look... Oh, there's a freaking black thing there. Gosh darn it. I did not even see that this time. I was too busy looking at these guys. Just don't do whatever you're doing right now. Oh my gosh. I can't control this thing. It's too... Oh my gosh. Yeah, so is that gonna run into that? Oh, it does run into that. Yeah, so I'm getting a little annoyed by how kind of overzealous the throwing line is, where it's always like at maximum, and it's hard for me to get it to do a smaller throw here when I need it to in like a tense situation. It's like causing me to mess up quite a few times here. Yeah, so like I don't know, I feel like I don't want to keep playing this level anymore. The enemies are interesting. It's not like they were like extremely like OP feeling or anything, but I don't know. It's like on the one hand, it adds a lot of interest and like a little bit of tension, and it's like kind of cool factor and stuff. But on the other hand, like I said before, it's pretty dangerous to kind of go this route where suddenly you have this time pressure and you can't take as much time as you need to line up all these different squiggly lines, which is kind of hard to wrap your brain around at any given point in time. It's definitely a bit dangerous, but you know, maybe if maybe if there's never anything more dangerous than that, I don't know, maybe that's acceptable enough. But yeah, it definitely seems like a little bit of a risky play to put that kind of thing in this game. But yeah, it takes a lot of patience, and mine is starting to run thin here. Alright, don't run into this thing. That would be a good idea. Alright, so those are gonna wake up. We're gonna try to not, for goodness sake, that guy got right on top of me really fast, actually. So yeah, that was unfortunate because the guy was so close to me. I didn't actually have enough time to to set up my first throw there. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of, you know, the bad stuff I'm talking about there, where it's like you can't really play the game properly when you're under that kind of pressure, and the consequences are pretty painful if you have to start the whole level over and everything. But I should probably wrap this up. I think I don't really want to continue on with this level, and I feel like I've gotten a pretty good look at the game. So yeah, I think the biggest thing I would say is just like actually teach the player how to play. You gave almost no instruction at the start of the game here, and I did elect to not read the game page, like the instructions that were mentioned there, because you know, you can't really expect players to do that. I mean, I usually read more of the game page, you know, for people's demos, but that's because usually people have like really early projects that they're posting on there, so it's like a lot of the time they don't have the opportunity to get far enough with the game that the game itself can kind of teach the player. You know, they don't put a tutorial in the game yet or whatever, so I try to read through whatever instructions they give. But in this case, where it was kind of presented as if the game was almost ready for release or whatever, you expect the game itself to do all the teaching, you know. So what I found is that, like, how to actually make sense of these lines and how to use them properly was not clear to me at all when I started playing, and there was like no point where the game kind of taught me that. So from what I can gather, you kind of want to use the straight one to aim where you're going to end up, and then use the curly one to just like make sure that the curly one doesn't run into anything, kind of. Whereas at the start, for a while, I was pretty much exclusively looking at the curvy line, thinking that that's kind of what I was controlling, which wasn't really the case and wasn't very useful. So I eventually kind of figured that out, but it definitely wasn't clear to me at first how to do that. And it's not, I mean, it's kind of brain twisting to do that, but to explain that to the player is not necessarily that hard. You know, it's kind of relatively straightforward if you just kind of make it explicit, you know, how that works. So yeah, I would say that would be a big improvement to do that. And apart from that, I mean, if I wasn't playtesting, I would have a little more focus. So, you know, I could, my general performance in something like this that kind of requires a lot of focus, I assume, I feel like it does. You know, I'd be able to handle this without making so many stupid mistakes, because I'm just kind of not as focused and not quite as patient maybe that I would be. But yeah, in general, I think it's really interesting. I haven't played anything like this before, so it's definitely interesting. Probably has some of that frustration factor in it, though. I would look out for, I guess, other people's opinions. Like if anyone just finds it really frustrating or something, if you get a lot of that, then maybe there's some steps you could take to kind of ease back on some of the more annoying things. But yeah, hopefully you found this useful. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you in the next video.